Hello students, welcome to class 12th of accountancy. Today we are going to do chapter number 3rd, change in profit sharing ratio among the existing partners. In this today we will do accounting treatment of reserves and accumulated profits when there is change in the profit sharing ratio of existing partners. Part 1 we will do today, and in my next video we will go for part 2. So today we will do what will happen if any type of reserve is there or accumulated profits are there when there is change in profit sharing ratio. What will be the treatment for reserves and accumulated profits? Case 1. When reserves and accumulated profit losses are to be transferred to capital account, when we had to transfer them to the capital account. If at the time of change in the profit sharing ratio there are reserves or accumulated profits or losses existing in the books of the firm, these should be transferred to the partners' capital accounts or to the current accounts in their old profit sharing ratio. So if any kind of reserve is there or accumulated profit or loss is there, it should be transferred among partners' capital account or current account in their old profit sharing ratio. Why is it so? The reason for such transfer is that these reserves and accumulated profits losses have come into existence before the change in profit sharing ratio and hence belong to the partners in their old profit sharing ratio. So why it is so, why we are distributing this in old ratio? Because these all reserves and accumulated profit and losses have come into existing before the change in profit sharing ratio. So before the profit sharing ratio was changed, these reserves and accumulated profits and losses were already there. That's why we are transferring it in capital or current account of old partners in their old profit sharing ratio only. Following entries are passed for this purpose. So we'll see what entries are done for these purpose. First, for transfer of reserve and accumulated profit, if there is any reserve or accumulated profit is there, all that kind of reserves or accumulated profits will be debited and partners capital or current account will be credited. So all the reserves which will be there will be debited and partners capital or current account will be credited, and we will add up all these profits and these accumulated profits and reserves and will distribute them in old ratio of partners. Okay. Second, for transfer of accumulated losses, if losses are there, old partners capital account or current account will be debited and losses will be credited. Okay students, and what we will do, we will add up all the losses and we will divide among old partners in their old profit sharing ratio in debit side. So if profit is there or reserves are there, it will be debited and partners capital or current account will be credited, and if losses are there, losses will be credited and partners capital or current account will be debited. Let us solve one question so that we can make this concept more clear. X, Y and Z are partners sharing profits in the ratio of 4:3:2. From April 1st, 2017, they decided to share the profits equally. On that day, their book showed the following items. So X, Y and Z were three partners. Their ratio is 4:3:2. It means 4/9, 3/9 and 2/9. From 1st April 2017, they decided that they will share profit and loss equally, and on that day their books of accounts shows the following items. Profit and loss account credit balance is there 1,20,000, general reserve is there 45,000, workers compensation reserve is there 60,000, and advertisement suspense account debit is there 90,000. So first of all, let us see, if anything is credit, it means it is profit, and if anything which is debited, it means it is loss. Okay, so first of all we will clear this. Whatever will be credited, credit balance will be profit and debit balance will be loss of the firm. So by this we came to know that profit and loss appropriation account or profit and loss account credit side will be debited because it is profit, and advertisement suspense account 90,000 is our loss. So we are having three profits and one loss. So as we had already learned that all the profits will be debited. So profit and loss account will be debited, general reserve will be debited, and workers compensation reserve will be debited. See, all the three accounts are debited. Amount is also debited 1,20,000, 45,000 and 60,000. Now what we'll do, we will add these three amounts whatever the total will be there, it will be divided among these three partners in their old profit sharing ratio, that is 4/9, 3/9 and 2/9. So the profits will be debited and partners capital account will be credited, and we will add up all the profits and we will divide them in their old profit sharing ratio. Same process will be done with the loss, that is advertisement suspense account. Partners capital account will be debited here and advertisement suspense account will be credited, and whatever the amount is there, it is only 90,000, so 90,000 will be distributed among X, Y and Z in their old profit sharing ratio. So like this we will distribute profit and losses among partners in their old profit sharing ratio. Let us see what is workers compensation reserve and how it is distributed among partners. Workers compensation reserve is actually a reserve which is used to compensate employees. So it is a reserve made up of profit, and it will be used whenever we have to do or give some compensation to the employees. But as you can see in this question, workers compensation is 60,000. It is not compulsory the whole 60,000 should be expended on workers compensation. It may be less, it may be more, it may be equal. So we will see what will happen in different conditions if it is more or less. P, Q and R sharing profit and loss in the ratio of 3:1 decide to share profit and loss in the ratio of 4:2. With effect from 1st April 2017, following is an extract of their balance sheet as at 31st March 2017. So PQR are three partners and their ratio is 3, 2 and 1. It means 3/6, 2/6 and 1/6. Now they had decided that they will change their ratio to 4:3:2, that is 4/9, 3/9 and 2/9, and they are having workers compensation reserve of 60,000. There are 4 cases. We have to do general entries according to each case. So first case is if there is no other information. If there is no other information, it means no claim is there. So whole workers compensation reserve will be distributed among old partners in their old profit sharing ratio. It will be distributed between P, Q and R in their profit sharing ratio. So the general entry will be workers compensation reserve account debit 60,000 because it is your reserve, to partners capital account PQR, and 60,000 will be distributed among them in the ratio of 3:1, that is old profit sharing ratio, 30,000, 20,000 and 10,000. So if there is no information or no claim, we will distribute the whole workers compensation reserve amount to partners capital account in their old profit sharing ratio. Now what was the second condition? Second condition was if a claim on account of workers compensation is estimated as 24,000. So if the claim of workers compensation is 24,000 and reserve is 60,000, so the claim is less than the reserve. So what we will do, whatever the claim is, we will pay it to the employees to whom we are compensating, and the remaining amount will be distributed among partners in their profit sharing ratio, that is old profit sharing ratio. What will be the remaining amount? 36,000. 60,000 minus 24,000, 36,000 will be distributed among P, Q and R in their old profit sharing ratio. Like this we will do. Workers compensation reserve account debit, that is 60,000, to whatever claim was there, provision for workers compensation claim 24,000, and we will write to P's capital, to Q's capital, to R's capital, and remaining 36,000 will be distributed among 3 partners in their old profit sharing ratio. Let us see the third case. If a claim on account of workers compensation is estimated at 60,000. So if a claim on account of workers compensation is estimated at 60,000, it means the whole amount is being claimed. The whole amount of workers compensation reserve is being claimed. So there is no remaining amount to distribute between partners. So nothing will be distributed among partners. See the third case, workers compensation reserve account debit to provision for workers compensation claim. Whole amount 60,000 is given for the compensation. So there is nothing which should be distributed among partners. Let us see next case. If a claim on account of workers compensation is estimated at 75,000, or if the claim is 75,000 and what was the reserve? 60,000. The claim is 15,000 more than the workers compensation reserve. So the difference between claim and workers compensation reserve will be transferred to revaluation account, and afterwards through revaluation account it will be taken from the partners from their capital account. See how we will do. First of all, workers' compensation reserve is 60,000, revaluation account will be debited by 15,000, and provision for workers' compensation claim is 75,000. So we are having 60,000 as our reserve, but the claim is 75,000. So remaining 15,000 will be paid by or will be adjusted by revaluation account. Then this 15,000 will be distributed among partners. So P's capital account debit, Q's capital account debit, R's capital account debit to revaluation. Why revaluation is credited? Because it is loss right now. We were having less reserve, but we have to pay more claim. So this 15,000 will be distributed among partners in their old profit sharing ratio, that is 3, 2 and 1. So like this we will do workers compensation reserve, and we will solve our question like this. We will do the journal entries of workers compensation reserve. Let us see now about investment fluctuation reserve. Investment fluctuation reserve is prepared so that if there is any difference between market value and cost value of the investment, it can be compensated by investment fluctuation reserve. So for example, if your building is of 20 lakh, cost price is of 20 lakh and market price is 18 lakh, so the 2 lakh difference will be paid by investment fluctuation reserve. So investment fluctuation reserve is prepared to compensate the difference between cost and market value of the business of investment. So how we will solve the question? Let us solve one question so that we can make this concept more clear, because it may be there that the reserve is of 30,000 but the difference between cost and market value is less or equal or more, or it can be equal. So how we will generalize the entries? So first case is, if you can see P, Q, R are 3 partners, their old profit sharing ratio is 3 to 1 and investment fluctuation reserve is of 30,000 and the investment cost is 5 lakh. What will happen in first case? If there is no other information, it means the investment is 55 lakh, the investment cost is 5 lakh and the market value is also of 5 lakh. There is no information regarding investment market value. Okay, so we will consider it as 5 lakh. So what will happen? The whole reserve which is of 30,000 will be distributed among partners in their old profit sharing ratio. Like this we will do. Investment fluctuation reserve 30,000 to P, to Q, to R's capital. It will be divided in 3:2:1, 15,000, 10,000 and 5,000. Like this we will distribute this. It is more or less same as in workers compensation reserve. What about the second case? Second case says that if the market value of the investment is 5 lakh, what was the cost and what is the in market value? It is same. So there is no fluctuation. So whole amount of 30,000 investment fluctuation reserve will be distributed among the partners as we had done in case 1. And what will be the general entry? General entry will be same as case 1. Investment fluctuation reserve account debit to P's capital, to Q's capital, to R's capital. This 30,000 will be distributed among partners in their old profit sharing ratio, that is 3:2:1. Let us see case 3rd. If the market value of investment is 4,88,000. Now see what was the cost and what is the market value. It is 12,000 less than the cost. And what is the reserve? Reserve is of 30,000. So reserve is more than the difference between market value and cost value. Now, so the amount of 12,000 will be transferred from investment fluctuation reserve, and the remaining 18,000, that is 30,000 minus 12,000, will be distributed among P, Q and R in their old profit sharing ratio, that is 3:2:1, that is 3/6, 2/6 and 1/6. See like this. Case 3, investment fluctuation reserve account will be debited by 30,000 to whatever the difference was there to investment 12,000, and the remaining amount, that is 18,000, will be distributed among P, Q and R in their old profit sharing ratio, 9,000, 6,000 and 3,000. Let us see case number 4. In case number 4, if the market value of investment is 4,46,000. So what was the investment cost value? 5 lakh, and what is the market value? 4,46,000. So it is 54,000 less than the cost price. And what reserve we are having? We are having only 30,000 as reserve. So what we will do, this amount of reserve will be transferred to investment, and the remaining amount of 24,000 will be paid by or will be adjusted by revaluation account, and afterwards it will be adjusted by partners capital account in revaluation account. Let us see. Investment fluctuation reserve account debit by 30,000 because that much investment fluctuation reserve we were having. Revaluation account debit 24,000, that much will be paid by revaluation account. And to investment, what was the difference? 54,000. So difference is 54,000. Revaluation investment fluctuation reserve is 30,000. The remaining amount will be debited by revaluation account. Now this revaluation account will be distributed among partners capital account in their old profit sharing ratio. So P's capital account debit, Q's capital account debit, R's capital account debit to revaluation account. Why revaluation is credited? Because it is lost. The reserve which we were having is less than the difference of market value and cost value. So what we will do, we will distribute this 24,000 among P, Q and R in their old profit sharing ratio, that was 3:2:1. Let us see case number 5. If the market value of investment is 5,06,000 and what was the cost value? 5 lakh. Now what is the market value? It is more than the cost price. So the difference is of 6,000. What we will do, we will distribute this investment fluctuation reserve among old partners in their old ratio, and 6,000 will be transferred to revaluation account. How we will solve it? See, investment fluctuation reserve account 30,000 to P's capital, to Q's capital, to R's capital, as we have done in case 1 and 2. It will be divided among them in their old profit sharing ratio, that is 3:2:1, that is 3/6, 2/6 and 1/6. Now the 6,000 which the investment was more, the investment account will be debited by 6,000 and to revaluation account will be by 6,000. Now this revaluation account will be transferred to capital account because it is profit, that's why revaluation will be debited, and to P's capital, to Q's capital and to R's capital. This 6,000 will be distributed among partners in their old profit sharing ratio, that is 3:2:1. So like this we will do journal entries of workers compensation reserve and investment fluctuation reserve. So students, today we have learned how we have to do journal entries for accumulated profit, losses and reserves of partners when there is change in profit sharing ratio. Thank you.